Hi guys, today I'm blessed to have beautiful Wendy with me.
Hi, Rennie.
For how long you've been vegan?
Been more vegan since January 2016, so that's 3.5 years. Yeah.
Cool. And you did a lot of awesome things for Dutch people in Netherlands. So yeah, I'm so excited to interview you today.
Well, thank you for having me.
When you just started on a raw vegan path, what was your biggest challenge?
Yeah, my biggest challenge. Well, actually, I had a lot of health issues that challenged me
Yeah,
during and after my pregnancy.
yeah,
So, while I finally found raw, which is actually a really cool story to tell, if you allow me.
yes, totally.
Then yeah, you'll understand how it was not so difficult for me in the beginning. Because I have a child and he's now 6. And when I get pregnant, my hormones were a little bit too enthusiastic in making all the bones get wider. That's what's supposed to happen, like your hips open up and your baby comes out. But I just got pregnant and my hormones were sending loads of those hormones all over the place. So literally I would be super hypermobile, and meaning that I could only sit for 30 minutes, walk for 30 minutes, lay down for 30 minutes on my belly because back would hurt and side would hurt even more because of the joints would scratch like this. So basically I was in pain after every 30 minutes. And as a natural therapist, and I studied all these things. I did homeopathy, I did classical homeopathy, shiatsu, acupuncture, bioresonance, anything, you name it, I did it. So I had found this osteopath to, like he can't do much when you're pregnant, but they can put you back together the way it's supposed to be. So every 5 weeks I could handle that, right? And then it would, slowly get worse and worse and worse and worse. Actually, I wanted to go every 4 weeks, but he only let me come every 5. For some reason, it's too much to come every 4. So that last week, that was just so hard. And I was, inside the house and laying down on the couch and trying to walk. And at one point, this beautiful, amazing lady named Esther Jacobs online wanted to give away a hammock from Ecuador, which she got there, and I was able to receive her hammock for free. And well, that was amazing because it like wraps around your body and then it'll make sure that all the bones stay where they're supposed to be, and you're also a little bit, that you have this comfort that you're lying on something, but it's not really pushing you. So yeah, Esther, if you see this, thank you so much. I'm still so grateful for the hammock, and that would like help with the pressure. But so when the baby got a little bit down in there, it got stuck. So for the hips, was really an improvement for the last few weeks, but I still wasn't able to go up and down the stairs. I wasn't allowed to, because if you do that, the connective tissue stretches even more and stretches more and more and more, until at one point they told me you end up in a wheelchair. And actually later I had a women's group with moms, and I had actually met the women and one is actually like in a wheelchair and the other one occasionally. And so yeah, I actually met those people. So the chances were really there. I had to really watch myself and set boundaries and, don't overdo it. So yeah, so I came from that place where I couldn't do anything, not do my own shopping, ask the people in the supermarket, will you please put my bag in the car, and then I could drive home, and then the neighbor would say, call the neighbor and say, will you please put the bags on the counter of the kitchen, because I can't lift them anymore. And then, well, my bedroom's upstairs, so only one time going down in the morning and one time going up in the evening. Yeah, that was a tough time. So imagine that I came from that place, baby being born, it got a little bit better. I got you know, I got all my homeopathy and all my exercises, and it all got a little bit better. And I was like constantly watching my diet. I was on like no dairy, no gluten, like I make everything myself, low on the meat, but I couldn't let that go because of the B12. I got B12. I even got into supplements, and I don't believe that they work. At least because I don't believe that you're to be dependent on supplements. So even did that after baby was born to, yeah, you know, you're getting desperate. You're like, this is probably
Yeah,
not solving the cause of my issues, right? But yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the place I came from, and I tweaked it, and it got a little better. It got a little better. But also another thing that I had was heart palpitations. Like it would just like go very slow and then very fast, like ding, 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 ding. You'd feel it pounding throughout your body. I got these headaches that look a little bit like migraines, like on the side, like. And I didn't have my period anymore, like for a really long time, for 2 years almost. So I did some C's therapy. That's the detox out your pill into align some hormones. So I got my period back. I was happy, but then I was again in 3 days of agony because of the pain of that. And in the 3 days as well, I felt like I was all pregnant again. I couldn't go up and down the stairs anymore. I couldn't walk for more than a couple of minutes because I feel like my whole intestine would fall out at the bottom. This is a pretty embarrassing thing to say, but I really did feel that.
It's important to share this so others who experience that will not feel so alone. So all of that happened before you went home.
Yeah. So I knew about, my belief's always been that nature provides for us, God, universe, source, whatever your religion is. I believe that this universe is provided for us, and we are part of that. So we are part of this nature that is here, which is in our earth. So the solution's got to be in the natural realm, you know, in the natural area of plants and sunlight and all that. So I always believed that. And as a scientist, I studied technical physics first before I went to all this spiritual and natural healing.
You're the coolest.
So I believe that photons come from the sun and they go into the plant. And also minerals and energy from the earth come from the soil and go in the plant. Then once you eat the plant or the fruits of the plant, you have the highest amount of energy that you can possibly eat, right? Literally. It's like they say energetic spiritually, and people believe that. Yes, I believe it. But it's actually in between the atoms in the plant. Like everybody knows, or maybe you don't know, like molecule, and then you have atoms, and the atom is like 99% empty, something like that. And in between there's all these potential differences, which is basically a potential energy that can be used for something.
Yeah.
So we feel solid, but it's, you know, empty basically. And in between the emptiness is the energy that I speak of. So when I say energy, I mean that energy. And I always believe that literally in that plant, in that fruit, is the biggest amount of energy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Raw, nothing done, right from the soil, grown in a perfect environment, no pesticides, just in the sun, in the soil, not in these rock wool things that they put minerals in the greenhouses, right? Not those. So that's my belief. So slowly I was like, okay, fruits and veggies. And I was still like cooking my veggies. I was still like, and I also learned that, okay, so raw is best. So if it's not, like, you kill it. So I would literally eat things like eggs, like half cooked. Like I would have my broth soup and I'd throw in an egg and then like it, because it's a little bit hot, and then eat it and stuff like that, and eat like raw fish like salmon and tuna. And I don't know if that was the best, but yeah, that was because I thought if you have like
just to your best knowledge at that time.
Like I didn't find anybody who did this weird stuff. Like it was just me making it all up.
Yeah.
It was pretty weird for me as well because I tried to be vegetarian. I was already off dairy, but I call it vegetarian at the time. I quit the meat and the fish, but it was just not working with me. I would get more anemic, I would get more tired. So I basically kept it in the diet to try to live survive. I was basically in survival mode, but like with the heart palpitations, my body still being way too weak to walk stairs like more than twice a day, and like not doing exercises, and my brain fog was so terrible that I couldn't even, like, if I had like the first half of the page and I cut the second half, I wouldn't remember what I read. So, but during this my experiment with all this food, it got a little better. And then they say you can't do detox, and if you only eat fruits and veggies, they call it detox. So I read the internet, I ask people who didn't juice fast. Everybody says, no, you can't do it. You're breastfeeding, you can't do it. It's dangerous. So I was like, yeah, there's nobody who does that while they breastfeed, right? So you don't do it because you can't find anybody else who did it. And there's no science, and you don't have any knowledge about it. But I was thinking about it, and at one point I just decided to ask more and more and more people, random people. And there was actually a lady who said, you know, you can't do the real detox, but maybe you can change your diet a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I've gone so far that I'm like almost completely raw, like 80%. I'm having my breakfast is
And
fruit and my
vegan.
salads for lunch, and then I have my normal meal, which is cooked veggies with veggie sauce. And more veggies for dinner.
You were vegan already? Or?
No, because we would have 2-3 times a week. I would have herring. I eat eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. Because in egg yellow is B12 or something. I mean, like, I just didn't want to use the supplement.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like supplement or. And
you ate before you went raw vegan, right?
yeah, so I actually went raw before I went vegan.
Yeah. I know.
So you guys, I went raw before I went vegan. No, most people go vegan and then raw, but yeah, I went.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean.
Yeah, so in January I experiment with that raw vegan thing, and then and then I said, okay, I'm done. I found some people who did a mama detox, which is like a little, like less. What do you say that? Less extreme version.
Less extreme.
Basically, what you do is you eat and drink liquids for 3 weeks. And you can do smoothies, you can do soup with the, puree soup thing machine.
Vegetables blended.
Hand blender, yeah, you can do purees with a hand blender. So I actually started December 31st because I couldn't wait till get to the next day. Like, oh, January 1st, but I just got, like, maybe I started even sooner, like right after Christmas. I was like already into the smoothies and making the smoothies, and so yeah, that was a roller coaster, those 3 weeks. Liquid, my first 3 weeks liquid. And then afterwards, after 3 weeks, you're supposed to rebuild. So I was looking at the rebuild, but also in the build off recipes, there were things like legumes, which I haven't eaten in 6 years, and there was rice, which I haven't eaten in 4 years, and gluten. They said you can eat gluten, so I wasn't completely fine with this mama detox. I said, I think I eat healthier than what's on the building off and building up. So looking at it, and I thought, I've always wanted to be vegetarian. And at that point, I was standing at a market with this herring in my hand because I still had weird cravings for raw fish. Like, I wanted to eat raw fish all the time. Of course, my sane brain would overrule it and say, no, we're not eating that. But like, my body would like, eat the fish. So I'm standing there with the fish, right, in my hand. So in my hand is the herring. I take one bite and I'm like, it's all fatty, and why am I doing this? Maybe rebuild. Maybe what if I'm right? What if I don't have to rebuild? I was feeling pretty good on this fruits and veggies puree stuff. I feel better than it did in December. So it was like a huge difference, but it was definitely noticeable. So then I was like, okay, if you're gonna do this, breastfeeding your kid, fruits and veggies, okay, we're gonna find people. So I went on Google, and I had 2 months and to figure it all out, but I just I kept my kid. I said, I kept my kid. And then the kid went online and clicked on an eye on YouTube.
Yeah,
and there was my hero. Well, Dr. Morris saying, hello, this is Ayurvedology, and this lady had some disease and she ate grapes for 52 days. She had cancer or something, and she wasn't completely healed, but they could see in the pictures, and they showed the pictures online, that the tumors had shrunk and they showed online that her eyes, and this was like old, so the video is like super old already, like it happened years ago, but they showed that it shrunk, and the lady was like, yeah, I feel a lot better, and I was like, you know what, sounds pretty cool. And then all the testimonials came of other people who ate grapes and grape juice, and he was going on fruit, berry, and melon, and like, you know what, I tried everything. How bad can it get? Let's just do that. I mean, obviously he's doing it for like 30 years or something. He's not dying, so let's give it a go. And then yeah, next day I came home with my watermelon and I sat at the kitchen table and I said to Johan, who's my partner, you know, yeah, I think I'm having watermelon today.
Yeah, all
And
right.
and he was looking at me like, right, what we're having, yeah, you're still having the steamed veggies and a little bit of whatever you want with it, but I'm having the watermelon. And right, okay, I don't know if he thinks I was crazy or whatever, but I was just sitting there. I was the happiest girl. Honestly, I was the happiest girl alive. If I go back to the moment with my watermelon, and at that time I sliced it up, and I wasn't spoon watermelon yet. I was just slicing it up and eating the slices, but I was just like going, oh my god, I can have the whole melon. It's all for me. No, just one slice after dinner, just the whole melon. Oh my god, my life is amazing. And I think that happiness kept me going, because I was feeling, at this time it was March, and I was feeling just so much better compared to December.
Yeah.
And I did have an issue. I did have issues. So then the issues came.
Yeah.
So yeah, what big issue you had to overcome? That was the sugar insulin resistance, I think. Because I would have like sugar high, sugar low, sugar, and I would like, oh, I need something, because I like completely went on orange juice, melons,
Yeah,
and
so
grapes.
Fruit only.
Fruit, no, not fruit only, but this was the general idea. Johan would make salads every day, so I would have like little
A
salads.
tiny bit. Oh, good.
Yeah, just like little, like 5 bites or 10.
Yeah.
And I still made some smoothies with loads of berries and some spinach in there, so I would still do that. But yeah, oh, I have this detox powder from a Dutch brand, and I looked up, of course, what in their chemistry, the chemistry and what it do for me, and there were also like chlorella and spirulina and berry powder. So that I still was still getting.
balanced.
I was
Pretty balanced. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess.
Fruits and greens and chlorophyll from chlorella. It's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah. So I looked it up and decided that it was good for me,
Yeah.
just from a chemistry point of view.
Yeah, and obviously from your experience.
Also, yeah,
How
from
you
my
felt.
experience. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I did have to go through the highs and lows and the highs and lows, and I had to eat in the beginning fruit only when I did the fruit only. Because that little bite of salad is not really, count, because I still had the highs and lows every hour and a half, 2 hours, so I couldn't do the intermittent dry yet. That was all in the video. I couldn't do, so I was basically eating from 8 in the morning till 11 at night, like every 1.5, or drinking something with sugary. But after 6 weeks, like so, when I ended up in the beginning of June, that was solved as well. So that was solved. And what astonished me the most was my brain. Like, oh my god, my brain works! I work again. I can
Exactly.
think. I can.
You got the fuel in.
Yeah,
right?
I could remember
Yeah.
before I got pregnant, before I got the vaccines, because that's when that brain fog started. Before 2012. Oh, now okay, I'm starting to feel me again. So I was like 2016, so I was feeling literally like 6-7 years younger again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went through the whole year on mostly orange juice, melons, tomato, cucumber salads. Did the melon
And
one.
you used some chlorella.
I stopped with the chlorella because before I did like a chlorella detox, like a la Hilda Clark, if you know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where you, but that was she has like some kind of anti-candida thing where you eat rice and everything.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't eat so much rice because that didn't fit with my belief not eating grains. But that was way back. It was way back.
Right, it was before.
Yeah, it was
And
before.
So now when you were eating lots of fruit and you were eating your tiny salads also?
I must say I can go on a week with fruit and then at some point I walk around and I just feel like, oh, I want that. And really before I eat it, I see it over there, for example, and then I don't know, it looks tasty and I want to put it in my mouth and I imagine it tastes like, oh, I want it. But I've gone through loads and loads of phases where I really, really was not interested in chewing at all because I was feeling so great on all this liquid stuff. Like finally I could like be a normal person because I would sleep, you know, I would try to sleep because that was also one of the things. I couldn't sleep because of the pain. I wake up every hour and a half or a crying baby because the baby was crying of pain because somebody gave him gluten and I was like, no, crackers. So after 2.5 years of non-sleeping, we slept. God, we slept. So during that time, like March, April, May, we slept, the hair palpitations went away, my joints kind of like did it again. I wasn't feeling falling apart anymore. My brain started functioning. And then people asked me, did you have a hard time keeping it up? Well, I had the sugar highs and lows and I doubted myself a couple of times, but not really. I mean, I feel so amazing. It felt like light come in and like heavy weights were on my shoulders and they were put over there. So yeah, I think unconsciously I focused on the positive sides.
Yeah.
I didn't dare go back because if I eat more, get more pain.
Yeah. So your inspiration was pretty huge to just feel better, to just the pain, of course, if you don't want the pain to come back and you just want to feel normal and have your brain function. So this is a huge inspiration to continue on this path. And the last question, this was my second question, you already answered.
Oh, okay.
And the last question is, was there some moment on your raw vegan path that you've been either embarrassed about or maybe afraid to talk about, but you would be willing to share now after these years?
So yeah, I breastfed. I didn't tell everybody right away. Yeah, so when Keon had all this undigested food all the time, he couldn't so he kept it on breast milk because he could digest and not cry, which is really important. Not cry.
Yeah.
Sleep also, that you want your baby to not cry and sleep.
Yeah.
You want him to be happy. So yeah, I was kind of afraid to tell it other people, like the consultation where you have to go to we call it consultation office, but I think it's like a child care thing from the government.
Yeah.
Because they have this list and they're supposed to does he get everything in? So I would kind of lie. So they say, does he eat bread? And I'd be like, Grandma gave a crust without my consent, so I can say yes to this question. Yes. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
because I really didn't
do what you can.
I didn't want him to have the bread, and I wish I could.
But
if you say no, he doesn't eat that, he doesn't eat that, he doesn't eat that.
Yeah.
They save all that, and
yeah.
but consultation office, fruits and berries are the best. So
yeah. Well, we can see it now that you're healthy.
Yeah, and parents are responsible and not an unknown person who has a checklist, and that's I wasn't feeling comfortable with that, but I feel comfortable about it now. And the kid tries other foods if he really wants to, which is luckily not that often.
Yeah.
And we try to raise him free so that he can do that. So he overcame loads of health issues as well, like eczema and non-sleeping and crying and reflux, and now he's like a super happy kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did Master Fast as well in that year, and also the year after, 2017. And that's on cooked grape juice or boiled grapefruit. You're supposed to boil it for 9 minutes, and then yeah, it was good for me. And I'm very proud that I did it, because in that month, that first 44 days, I really noticed that I was able to heal way more, like the last bits and pieces of the menstruation pain and the brain fog, and I could really start getting into this intermittent fasting as well, because I really had I would start at 8 and end at 11, and then I tried to bring it back like from 9 to 9, which felt good for me, and I did that for a really long time. But after that month, I could really take it up a notch and go like 21 hours dry. And you might say, oh, is that good? Well, it is. It's fasting, and this is scientifically proven that it does help your body recover faster. So, and this is what I wanted. I want to recover as fast as possible, and if I have to do like a juice fast, or if I do a dry fast or whatever, I'm going to research it and find people to help me with it and do it, because I want to heal. I want to be better. I want my problem fixed. So I did a lot of things that, like in the first year, 2 years as well, I was very strict on this fast, tried to see what worked for me. And total, I did like the 44 days, first 14 days on Dr. Moore style, then the 44 days on Master Fast style, then I did kind of like half juice all day, eat in the evening for the month of December, and then in January I did then I did the official protocol of the Master Fast protocol for like 36 days, and after that I just went on 2 weeks eating, 2 weeks hybrid. Hybrid is half eating, is juice during the day and eating in the evening. And I got out so much stuff, like from my intestines. You can see it in the toilet. Like I kept on pooping, right? 78 days in a row, twice a day. And I was only drinking. I know there's fiber in the juice, but still, what came out was definitely not fresh.
You were not taking the bowel, how you call it, formula for bowel cleansing, or
no, in the beginning, no.
Or nothing like that?
No. I was I had that powder that I already used and helped customers with before, like the Dutch one. But halfway through the year, I got Dr. Morse's. And and used the Dr. Morse's, and I actually did a consultation with Dr. Moore's office because of my child, because I don't want to be the mom who knows everything. So I did that for him, so just in case that I have a backup, people who experienced, who do that often. So and so I did that whole Dr. Moore's, like they got 14-week protocol, but I just kept on doing these herbs for the whole year, like alternating all of them and researching. I knew a little bit about herbs, of course, and about homeopathy, so I kept that with it. I did my energetic work, I did loads of theta healing, I went to do Merkaba healing, I really used all the tools, like the saunas. I went to the sauna every week, I did the dry brushing, I stand on my head. I was like, give me the tools, I do them all. And so I did all of them to incorporate as much as possible to gain as fast as possible. And then I did, when I did the Master Fast, I ordered the Master Fast herbs from Chino as well, from Canada. But they came a little late, so I was already 11 days in on January 11th or January 10th. And so I had a lot of them left over, but I've used them, alternating them, like how I felt like it. And only recently, the last 6 months, I decided that I was done detoxing and it was now time to enjoy life, eat fruits during the day and huge salads at night, and to go with it intuitively. And I must say, after like 4 weeks, I start to miss my herbs. And then I feel like, okay, maybe I just feel that intuitively. I could test myself, but I would feel so maybe I go with, I don't know, one energetics from my school, or I would go with Sinopharm energetics, or I would go with Lichtways, or I would go with Dr. Morse's. And I kept on using the GI broom, Dr. Morse. I think that's an amazing tool to clean out the bowels during the juice fast. So I did during the juice fast, I used that. And I think it really helped me to get going. The official master fast I didn't do. I only did the protocol that they prescribe. But if I were to choose, I love the GI broom powder better than the psyllium powder thing. It just, I don't know, it helps you go to the toilet. It makes your bowels nice and empty, and it feels good for a fast. When you flush your intestine, just flush them properly. So that's how I feel for me.
Yeah.
Not necessarily say that it goes for everybody. That's feel for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit about everything that I used. I know it's a lot.
That's awesome. The more information, the better. So people can pick what resonates with them. Yeah, and especially I like that you try to use all the tools, or actually you're using all the tools possible, and having this holistic approach.
Yeah, it felt good for me to do that. So I didn't specifically follow somebody else's protocol. I just felt what was best for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that can be different for everybody else. So yeah, I think everybody has to do what they feel is good for them, and try to see if you want to feel, if it's good for you, try to feel like something in your heart.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I think I feel, yeah, if you say I think I feel, you're off. And we all have in ourselves the craving that I used to have with the raw fish. Like a part of the body is screaming for it, and the same part is saying, hey, we learned this is not good for us. Please listen to the sanity brain at this point, and not to this sort of intuition. Because I think once your gut flora, like the bacteria and whatever else lives in there, like worms and parasites that all came out during the fast, they scream for the old food.
Yeah.
So if you go raw first and then vegan, they're gonna want the raw fish.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah.
So it has to change. And then you're gonna make more enzymes for veggies, and you're gonna make more bacteria and all that, and it will heal your mucosa, and you even get off B12 supplement like me.
Yeah.
And you're still vegan. Oh my God.
By the way, I never took, I just tried for taste like 2 or 3 times. I never took B12 supplements, and my B12 is normal after 12 years on raw vegan path. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, mine is normal now too, but it was really low during pregnancy. And you would imagine I ate so much. I ate so much. Everything was low. That's crazy. Like I would eat so much food and everything was low. And then now, if you see the portions, people look at me like, is that all you need? Apparently, I feel better. I know that I still look the same. Maybe my eyes like radiate more happiness, but my posture, the way I look, I still have clothes from when I was 15. I went like, okay, I lost the mama belly. So yeah, I lost the mama belly.
Beautiful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing all this beautiful, your experience and these beautiful tips with us.
You're welcome.
And if someone wants to learn more about you, where they can find you?
Okay, well, if you want to find more about me, and you want to ask questions about being a mom with a kid on raw, or about spirituality, or you are desperate in your cravings and you want to know what they mean, then I think I can help you with that. If you want to find me, it's in reverse, right? It says Healthy by Wendy.
Yeah, okay, we'll make it happen. Put it like this. Ooh. Healthy by Wendy.
Yeah, so I have a website, healthybywendy.com. I'm in the process of translating it, let's say that. So it's still in Dutch, but you can use Google Translate if really necessary. If you really want to find out about more about me, I really suggest you go to the Facebook page of Healthy by Wendy. You have a personal one, which is Wendy van der Grinten, and you can friend me. But the Healthy by Wendy page has videos on it. And if you want to know more about me and what healings I do, I've put examples on there so you can just close your eyes and follow it. And yeah, more about my stories on there. So feel free to connect with me whenever you feel the need to. And thank you for coming and watching our video. Hope it's very
thank you.
valuable for you.
Yes, I'm sure. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, Rennie.
Bye.
Bye.